Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy with a card review with the Enchanted Lenormand cards. This is my first Lenormand deck and I just love it. I think they're adorable, fascinating. I'm loving the Lenormand system. I don't have them in the box. They came in a nice big box, you know. Well kept and everything, with a wonderful guidebook. And I bought this deck partly because somebody among those who I had whose reviews I had looked at said that it's worth the purchase just for the guidebook, and I have to agree. There's plenty in here. I did not feel lost. I felt well taken care of as a first-time Lenormand buyer. And completely new to the system. I think she does some things in here a little bit. This is Caitlin Matthews with art by Virginia Lee, it says. I think she does things a little bit differently than some people do it now, but there's nothing wrong with that. This is an example of the information. So you get a lot of information for each card, color picture, examples of combining with other cards, how this card would show up. This is the lily. So there's a general definition. It's got the number, the regular card that would be in there. You can't call them the pip. This one's a court card. I'll show you how it's embedded in the card. It says impact, keywords, people. What kind of descriptions it says about people, or what kind of people it indicates. If you're doing a love reading, how it would show up for love, for work, for finance, for well-being. It compares it to similar and opposite cards. And then it talks about the playing card and gives you a little reminder, a memory rhyme kind of a thing. The King of Spades keeps well the peace. So you have these little reminders about what the playing card is. And then a little like folkloric reference here, which I have not found terribly useful. And then again, the selected combinations, you know. So if you have the lily and the bouquet, lifetime award, gift of discretion, surprising vintage. So it's a wine. So I don't use those combinations too often, but they can be useful. And obviously, this is all you see, so she doesn't have it for everyone. They're just there for the sake of advantage, or for examples. Okay, so excellent. Goes through individual cards. Talks in the beginning about the Lenormand cards, history, how to read them in 2s, 3s, 9s, etc. And then in the back, some additional spreads, and it gives you a lot of information about, there's some spreads, there's the witness, okay, so, and it gives you the, isn't there something else? Reading the deck, no. The grand tableau, the big picture, it gives you several pages just on reading that, and examples. She gives some wonderful example readings, knighting, mirroring, all of this stuff you can do with the grand tableau. And then here she has playing card messages. So she has the playing cards and what their specific messages are. Again, multiples, 4 aces. So if you're looking at the playing card indicators, if you have 4 aces in your spread, it indicates success, etc. And then a timing board, which is really fascinating and interesting. So you lay out the grand tableau, and depending on where the cards land, gives, it says near would be May, far would be subject to change, you know, so fascinating timing system included here. Playing card rhymes, and then a little quick reference guide for what Enchanted Lenormand Meanings at a Glance. So just a wonderful, wonderful, and bibliography to boot, in case you want to do more research on Lenormand. So the book is fantastic. And again, I feel well taken care of with the book. And really, I don't feel like I need to get other books about it, about the system. There's this kind of glossy, which is a little bit unfortunate because there's a lot of glare to it, but grand tableau kind of layout for you, which is handy as you're doing it to start with, because if you've got a card here and you can't remember what that station or position is, you can lift it up and look and say, oh, that's 13, and then do some referencing. There's a lot of referencing you have to do, but this is great to have for positioning for the grand tableau. I've just started to kind of cease using it on top of my cards. There we go. Alright, so let's look at the cards. They're cute. I'm going to try to get them up where you can see them decently. So that's the backing. They're cute backing. And so you have here, you have the different suits in the corners, you have the playing card there in the center, and then you have the image here. I'm sure that many people would maybe be annoyed that the image of, how would you say, the signifier of the card, which is the snake here, is reduced and squished into this crystal ball. But I love it. It's a crystal ball image, and she adds kind of other things sometimes along the edges of the ball, which is really clever. In the snake, not so much. Well, actually, yes. So there's a little snake also down here that you can't see in the grass. So there are like things in the reflections. Bouquet. And this is, if you look at the fox, there's the fox, and then there's a fox in the snow, reflection of the fox. So just clever little things like that. So I'm just going to show you each of these cards. Oops, I grabbed two. And I have loved them. She does have some different meanings, I think, than some of the traditional ones. Not too much. The one that's most notable to me has been the moon, which she considers the work card. She considers that a work card, and other people I've had interpret that, that I've seen have interpreted it more as your reputation in the world, which is related, but it's not literally work. And I think some people have complained that there isn't a work card, so to speak, and so she has turned that card into the work card. But I don't know that. I don't know enough about the Lenormand system to say for sure that that's an untraditional interpretation of the moon. So you do, if you're used to tarot or oracle cards, you do have to get used to some different interpretations with the signifier on the card, by which I mean the traditional image of the card is interpreted a little bit differently. But not all of them. In fact, I would say not most of them. Most of them have it's very easy to make a transition to the Lenormand. Okay. So there you go. A little walkthrough of the Enchanted Lenormand with its little crystal ball. Little crystal ball way of doing things. Ivy and clover around its edges. I think it's charming. I enjoy the images. Love the book. She also has, I almost forgot about that, she also offers, which I think is really important, Although I don't really like the way it's done, to be honest. So she has some people of color. Okay. What I object to is that they're just kind of, they're literally just sort of given another color, and it's not very rich. It doesn't look like a skin color, let's just say that. So I think that's a little unfortunate. But so for the man and the woman, we have somebody with darker skin, and we have a fortune teller. So depending on what I'm doing, like if I'm doing a reading for myself about my card reading business, I might take out the woman or perhaps the work card or whatever, and put this in to see if it shows up, or use it as a signifier. Or I'll mix it in. If I'm doing the grand tableau, I might mix it in and just see if it comes up. And if it doesn't come up, that's fine. Same thing if I think that I need, for some reason, an additional man or woman. If somebody is dealing with a relationship and I want additional man or woman for a grand tableau or a reading to see if another person shows up, I just like to have that. I like to have that option, even though it's not traditional. I like to have that flexibility. All right, there it is, my little review of the Enchanted Lenormand. Pretty stiff cardstock. In fact, I'd have to say very stiff cardstock, just so that you know. So for me, shuffling this is all, it's all this kind of thing. I couldn't shuffle it any other way. Not only because because I have weak hands. I think it's just, I don't think this cardstock is even, it's saying, don't riffle shuffle me. That's what it's saying. Just do a sideways shuffle. All right, now I'm really finished. All right, take care. Bye-bye.